Bonjour, it's Aldrius, and I'm going to take a quick break from doing commentaries. Don't worry, I still have some in the can, and they'll be uploaded soon. But for now, I'm going to do a little Let's Play, or a playthrough, whatever the hell you want to call it, of the original Prince of Persia 2, the DOS one, for PC, and yeah. Oops, have to click in. Okay. So this game came out in the early 90s at some point, or it was late 80s, somewhere around there. I think it was early 90s. Anyway, and it was the sequel to the unbelievably successful, I don't know about unbelievably, but the successful original Prince of Persia, the PC one, before it was rebooted in 2000 something or other as The Sands of Time, after the failure of Prince of Persia 3D, which wasn't that bad a game. I didn't mind it. Aspects of it were stupid, like the bow and arrow. Prince of Persia doesn't need no damn bow and arrow. And the combat was kind of iffy. So this is basically just obviously recapping the first game, Prince of Persia 1. That bad guy didn't like these people getting together. He wanted to marry the princess so that he could take power, even though he had power anyway. And the Sultan's always away. He should stay at home and handle his own kingdom, rather than always going off and fighting other people. I wonder what that is. It's not obvious at all, with her around the corner like that. And, yeah. So I played this game when I was like 4 years old, and there's one key skill that I didn't have that I'll mention pretty soon, and it prevented me from getting very far into the game. Ba-dum, boom, 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 boom. I miss the theme. I wish they'd bring it back. I think they remixed it for the new Prince of Persia, but they didn't give that one a subtitle for some reason. So now it's confusing when you refer to it. The next gen Prince of Persia, PS3, Xbox 360 one. I thought I heard it remixed. Whatever. Anyway, so now they're setting up the second game with this little cutscene. There's not too many cutscenes in the game though. It's pretty much fairly fluid. There's a few interruptions in the first arc. Basically, the game's organized into three arcs. You have the cave arc, quote unquote arc. You have the ruins arc, which is like this old palace, which is all destroyed. And there's three levels in each, three or four of each. And then there's the temple arc, where you're in this exotic temple, and there's all these cultists wearing eagle heads and stuff. And I thought they were actual eagle guys, but they're actually wearing masks. Back when I was a kid, I thought they were wearing masks. Or I thought they were real. And I thought it was cool. And then I found out it wasn't, and I was disappointed. But more on them when we actually get to them. It shouldn't take too long. The game basically has a... basically, this is back in the age when games didn't need to take too long because no one was good at them. So, okay, no, that's not true, but it could be true. So essentially, there's a 70-minute limit after the first two levels. There's a first three levels, kind of. There's a 70-minute limit to beating it. So basically, the whole game can't take you any more than like 80 minutes. So an hour and 20 minutes. And the original had a 6-hour limit, and that was from the very beginning. And I don't know why it does that. Every time when I hit the left key, just when it's starting. Ah, shit. I'm better than that. Okay. So this is really easy combat. Basically, all you've got is you've got a strike button, you've got move left and right with the right and left arrow keys, and then you've got block. Which in the first game was kind of finicky because it's so quick. You have to have like perfect timing, but this one is a bit more free. And the only problem with this is that you can't really see where the edge starts. Okay, I didn't make it. And yeah, so essentially the game's pretty straightforward. You have your jump button, which can operate as your up button, which is just your up button in fact. and you have your down button, which is that duck, and then you have left and right. And if you hold the shift key while running, you walk instead. And it's a key skill. And there's one skill that I didn't possess that. So here you just run away. That I mentioned that prevented me from getting very far in the game. The thing I couldn't do was hold on to ledges, which you need to do there. So I couldn't get past the first level. Go me. So I mentioned that there's a few that interrupt the levels. This is one. There's one more after this one or two more after this, I think. One to set up the time limit, because there's a reason for the time limit. It's not just you have to beat it in a certain time just because. And the writing's not too bad. It's not fantastic or anything, but it's pretty decent. And of course, there's some intrigue involved in the game. Like, you don't know who that is. You find out, and the answer's sort of interesting. Not really. Pretty simple. The story is simple, but it's decent. That's what I say. And Jafar's face is just everywhere. On the prints, in the sky, on the walls. He's such a jerk. Okay, so we're stranded on this beach now. And this is pretty much just an interlude. It's not really a level. Oh, it's this one. This one's fun. Because you just get to do this, and essentially you have to touch every pad except for the one with the symbol on it. Not too hard. Depending on the one you get, it can be kind of challenging. And they have the typical of this day and age. They'd usually have a a copyright protection thing where you need to go to slot page 6 and find letter 3 in phase 6 or whatever. And so that was basically where that would have appeared. You'd have to look for a symbol on a page. And anyway, on that note, I'm going to end this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in part